Our special guest has climbed the Mount Everest. He has done many first descents around the globe, has skied in the Antarctica, has skied on Kitzsteinhorn, has skied on Sölden. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chris Davenport.
Thank you. And I oftentimes tell people out there that yes, I'm a skier, but really I'm a professional risk manager. That's what I do every day out in the mountains, is make decisions that keep me alive.
And the classical risk assessment in the law profession will be a due diligence. What I always advise is don't do a due diligence walking into it without knowing what risks you might encounter.
The perceived loss is my life. Like, you are going to die if you get in an avalanche there. So all of a sudden you're going to dial back the risk. We as skiers and mountain people will take more risk when the perceived threat of risk is lower. That just when you think you know what the risks are and you think you've thought of everything, Mother Nature always knows more than any of us skiers. She always will come and surprise us.
But mitigating the risks usually takes time.
It does take time, and it's usually time well spent.
That's my preferred option, transferring the risk to somebody else. Yeah?
Exactly. Yeah, oftentimes with me, I'm going first because I might be the most experienced guy, but transferring risk for us as skiers is really just a fancy way of saying you go first.
And you need a lot of planning and contingency planning, so you have to have a fallback position. When something goes wrong, always think about the fallback position.
The similarities between skiing and business, as I said, are so amazing. This is exactly what we do in terms of managing this risk. You know, you have a contingency plan. Knowledge and wisdom is what you get from making mistakes. It's not what you learn in a book. It's when you screw up that you figure out how to not do that again. But when I do that, this one in particular, I spent several years looking at that cliff, looking at the landing in all different kinds of snow conditions, trying to understand exactly how I could do it and how I would do it and how I could do it safely. Then we're like, okay, it's on. Fire up the helicopter, take the athletes up to the top, camera guys get in position, get on the radio, 3, 2, 1, dropping. The more risk you take, the more you're living your life. And it doesn't matter if you're doing deals, legal work, or skiing. It really makes things exciting, and ultimately life's short. We want to have a good time.